afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's update regarding the Alberta wildfires. We will begin with an update from Bree Hutchinson from the Alberta Emergency Management Agency and José Saint-Ange from Alberta Wildfire. We will then take your questions. Bree, go ahead.
Thank you and good afternoon. Although more evacuated Albertans are returning home, continued wildfire activity means a number of evacuation orders and alerts remain in place. Yesterday, I reported we were seeing increased fire activity in the Fort Chipewyan area, and I noted that an evacuation alert has been issued. That alert has since been upgraded to an evacuation order. This evacuation order is now in effect for Fort Chipewyan, including the Mikisew Cree First Nation, Fort Chipewyan Métis Nation, and Athabasca Chipewyan First Nation. Please check the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo's website for the most current updates on this evacuation at rmwb.ca/fortchip. As of last night, a phased evacuation was underway with help from the Canadian Armed Forces, which provided an aircraft to support the evacuation efforts. Today, the remainder of evacuees are in the process of evacuating by air and boat. We are grateful for the Armed Forces' support, along with that of the thousands of firefighters from near and far that have been working tirelessly on the situation over the past several weeks. Alberta continues to be under a provincial state of emergency, and the Provincial Emergency Coordination Centre remains at a level 4. Currently, there are 7 states of local emergency, 3 band council resolutions, and 4,401 people are evacuated, with 6 reception centres open. As a number of Albertans remain away from their homes and as others prepare for the possibility of evacuation, it's timely to highlight a few key reminders. First, those preparing to evacuate should visit alberta.ca/beprepared for online resources to help ensure the process goes smoothly. Information is available on the website on how to build an emergency kit, planning for pets, knowing which documents to bring when evacuating, and other helpful tips and information. Be sure to stay informed and download the Alberta Emergency Alert mobile app. Those in or near an area that's been affected or is currently under threat should continue to follow the situation closely and monitor regularly for updates and alerts. Up-to-date information on evacuation orders and alerts is available at alberta.ca/emergency. Those in an area that's been evacuated should continue to pay attention to their local authorities for the most up-to-date information. And of course, any evacuee with questions can also call the 24-hour information line at 310-4455. Finally, though the situation has improved with fewer wildfires now burning, I want to remind everyone that the fire danger continues to be very high to extreme in some parts of the province, particularly in the northern region. I urge Albertans to stay vigilant, to continue to obey all fire bans and restrictions in place, and to continue to exercise caution and responsibility in helping to lessen the risk of further wildfires. Thank you, and I'll now invite José to give an update from Alberta Wildfire.
There are currently 66 wildfires in the forest protection area of Alberta. 18 of those are out of control. So far this year, we've responded to 553 wildfires, burning more than 1,100,000 hectares. The wildfire danger is extreme in the north of the province due to hot and dry conditions. As expected, we continue to see increased wildfire activity in the areas of the province that have not received significant rain. That is the case in the Fort Chipewyan area in northeastern Alberta. The wildfire located north of the community continues to be our top priority today. It is now about 8,600 hectares in size and is 10 kilometers away from the community of Fort Chipewyan. The majority of the growth was to the northeast, away from the community. Winds today are expected to continue pushing the fire in that direction. We are monitoring the conditions very closely. We have firefighters, helicopters with buckets, and air tankers working on this fire, with more resources arriving today. We continue to make good progress on the wildfires in the central part of the province. Firefighters are making use of the cooler and wetter conditions to reinforce fire guards around communities and to extend containment lines. But it's important to remember that we are still at the beginning of wildfire season, and there's a lot of work ahead of us. We continue to bring in new resources from other agencies to replace the firefighters and support staff who are going home. This includes 80 firefighters and support staff from the Yukon and BC who are expected tomorrow. They will work alongside our own staff who have been putting in long hours to protect communities from wildfires. We ask all Albertans to continue doing their part to prevent human-caused wildfires by respecting the fire bans and restrictions that have been put in place. Thank you.
Thanks, Jose. Seeing no questions in the room, we will move right to the phones. Operator, if you could please put through the first reporter.
The first reporter is Kari Robertson, City News, Edmonton. Please go ahead.
Hi there. First, with the situation in Fort Chipewyan, I was hoping to get kind of an update on how that evacuation is going, considering it has to be by air and by water. And what happens if there are people who don't make it out or choose to stay?
Thank you for your question. So we work very closely with the local authorities in place in this community all year round to prep for this type of thing and to have plans in place to help support. So currently right now, I can tell you we have just over 630 individuals to date that have been evacuated from the community. We are doing so by air and by boat. So I can tell you that we've had about 108 individuals taken out by Canadian Armed Forces on the Hercules aircraft, and about another 96 people have gone by boat. In total, there's been 537 by air. Because we recognize it's such a remote community with only those two options to evacuate, we do work closely and early on with officials to ensure that we can get people out as quickly and safely as possible.
Carly, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, this might be a bit more for Jose. The fire, you said it was pushing away from the community right now. Is there a risk of changing conditions? What is the risk level for communities like Fort Chipewyan?
Yeah, in that area, we're watching the wind very closely. The forecast for today is that the winds would continue to push the fire away from the community. They're coming from the south and the southwest. We will be seeing a new weather system coming into the province in the next few days, so we'll have to watch carefully to see how that's going to impact the wind. But we have experts that are looking at this constantly because evidently, the wind factor is very important in determining the direction in which the fire grows, but we're forecasted to have favorable winds for one more day.
Operator, I don't see any more reporters in the queue.
There's no more callers in the queue.
Thank you. That is all for today. Please note a media situation report will be distributed later. Appreciate it, folks.